Hello, everyone. I'm Daniel Rhodes. I'm the director of the undergraduate social work program here at UNC Greensboro. Usually, I will send an email out around the first week of the fall semester, just kind of welcoming students, and I'll have general information about the semester and just checking in with students, see how they're doing. This year with COVID, I wanted to send out an email before the semester starts, and I wanted to add a video so that some of you can at least get a sense of who I am. Um, some of you are returning students. Welcome back. We're glad to have you back. I know that these are really uncertain times and you're unsure about what's going to be happening, and just kind of reassure you we're going to be there to try to help work with you through the semester and through the academic year. Some of you are new incoming students, either coming in as a freshman, as a transfer student. Usually I meet with students over the summer. UNCG has a pretty robust SOAR and orientation program where me and one other faculty member, usually Mike Thull, who's the field director, will come in and meet with students and help you get registered for classes and just kind of answer any general questions that you may have and kind of work with you and get you prepared for the semester. And it's also a good time for us to kind of meet with students who are coming in and reassure them that we're here for you if you need anything. And we just didn't get an opportunity to do that this year. And this has been very challenging for me. I do a lot better when I'm able to meet with students directly one-on-one instead of trying to navigate all this back and forth through email. And so this has really been unsettling for me to not be able to kind of be there and meet with students as you come in, transfer in, or come in as an incoming student. And I apologize about that. I really wish we could have done that. Throughout the summer, I'm usually in my office, and for students who need some extra help, you usually can just kind of pop in and see me. And so we were not able to do that this year. And so we've had to kind of navigate this whole process online. It's not the best process, but we're trying to do our best. And I just wanted to kind of reassure students who are coming in that we will try to be there for you as much as we can. One of the things that I've done in this email, there will be a couple of links. One of them is orienting you to DegreeWorks, and the other one is just kind of a general welcoming for incoming students and try to help you figure out classes that you need and stuff like that. Hopefully at this point you've gotten all that squared away. If not, you just need to let us know. There's also an email address embedded within this email, which is bswadvising@uncg.edu. I'm kind of the point person for advising questions, and we have close to 400 social work students in the program. And so it has become a lot more challenging to work with all the students through emails. I suffer from email fatigue and Zoom fatigue, much like I'm sure many of you are right now. And the questions in the emails can be very complex, and it takes a while for me to respond. The HHS Advising Center is there for students who are coming in, and they do a great job. But we really do like to try to work with students as closely as we can. So what we've done is we've developed that email so that there's a repository for students to have questions that a couple of us can kind of manage and monitor that email, so that if I'm not able to get to your email in a timely manner, somebody else is going to be able to get to it. And I think that's just going to be a little bit more efficient for everyone. I know some of you have probably emailed me and have not heard back from me. I would encourage you to email me again. Like I said, I'm getting a ton of emails right now. I'm an administrator, so I'm on committees, and a lot of has been happening over the summer. So even though it's been the summer, I've been getting tons of emails from many different sources. And I like to spend more time with students in emails, and it's just been a lot more challenging. So I may get an email from you, and then all of a sudden it just kind of disappears amongst the numerous number of emails I've been getting from community members and stuff like that. I also get emails from high school kids and community college students who are interested in the social work program. And I like to reach out to them also to help kind of give them a heads up on what to look forward to as they come into the program. So I try to stay on top of those emails also. So if you haven't heard from me, just shoot me another email, or just email the BSW email, BSW advising email. And then that way we have a couple of us who can kind of manage that and try to make sure we get to your questions as soon as we can. I also want to ensure that you're in the classes that you need to be in. HHS Advising works with students who come in as freshmen and transfer students, and they do a phenomenal job, and we work really closely with them. but there's a couple of us in the department who are really versed in general education requirements. And what we like to do is sit down with students to make sure that you are getting the general education courses that you need to get when you need to get them so that you can stay on track. And once again, these are things that we can do with students. It's a lot easier when we're able to sit down with students one-on-one and kind of walk you through that process, because if you're creative, you can find general education courses that meet sometimes 2 or 3 general education requirements. And so there's a couple of us on faculty who have really kind of learned that system and are able to kind of work students through that system. One of the other options I can think of as we move forward is that we'll probably do this a lot through Zoom until we're able to meet individually one-on-one. I will be in my office some during the semester, and if students really want to come and see me, I would be more than happy to do that. We just need to follow protocols, wearing a mask, social distancing. My office is a good enough size where we can sit apart from each other. The monitor I have in my office is a pretty good size monitor, so I can kind of walk students through that process a little bit. And so if you are struggling with something, we can continue to work with you on that. And once again, I really wish we could have met with you with SOAR. SOAR is definitely the time that we are able to meet with incoming students. For students who are coming back, we want to make sure that you're in the right classes. For juniors who've completed Social Work 215, we need to make sure that you're in Social Work 310 and 311. We can get you in those courses up to a week after the semester starts. So some of you may have fallen through the cracks. Like I said, I've gotten a ton of emails. So if you need to be in Social Work 310, 311, let us know. You may have already let me know, and it just gotten lost in the load of emails I've gotten. And we need to make sure that you are in those classes. And for students who are getting ready to start field, I know this is a really uncertain time for you. And so we're going to be working with you as much as we can, but make sure you're in Social Work 411, 413, and 415 for the fall semester. So one of the reasons we're struggling with this is that, part of our social work code of ethics and values is the importance of human relationships. So if you look through the social work values and code of ethics, the importance of human relationship is one of those values that we hold dearly as social work professors, and we expect you to hold dearly as social work students. And this has been the problem with us, is that we really like to develop that relationship with students one-on-one and meeting with you, and this has really caused a lot of hiccups with that and our inability to be able to meet with you individually. So we will continue to try to do that through Zoom as much as we can, or calling you, or through emails. I will have what are called virtual Zoom hours. This is new for me also. So generally I have an open door policy, and I try to be in my office as much as I can. So I encourage students just to come by and see if I'm in my office. That's not going to happen as much this semester. So I will have 2 days identified over the semester, which will be my virtual Zoom office hours. And so I will send those links out. This is new for me, so it'll have to kind of get oriented to it a little bit myself. But generally, it'll have like a waiting room where you can go into, and then I can meet students individually. We have to be really cautious with this, because when I'm meeting with students for office hours, I'm bringing up very sensitive information on DegreeWorks, which has your UNCG ID number, your grade point average and stuff. So I can't really do Zoom office hours with multiple students at once. So I'm going to have to set it up with a virtual waiting room. So you will probably log in and be ushered into a virtual waiting room, and then I will be able to see students as a one-on-one basis, each student individually as it comes up. This will be new for me, so hopefully this will kind of work out for everyone. These are unique times for all of us. I just want to let you know we are going to try our best to be there for you. We are a department of really dedicated faculty and staff who really care about students and making sure that you're successful in your educational program. I want you to really think about this, especially for students who've gotten really grounded and oriented in our values and ethics. And for those students who are new to us, or are transferring in, or coming in as freshmen, just look up the NASW. It's the National Association of Social Workers Code of Ethics. So if you Google the NASW Code of Ethics, what will come up is the social work ethics and values that we follow as social work students, social workers in the field, and social work faculty. And so one of the things I really want us to really think about through this whole process is human rights and social justice. One of our charges as social workers in the community is social justice. And what that means is that we don't just adhere to the values of social justice, but that we challenge the social injustices that we see happening in the community. And so, even though these are unique times, and I know some of you are frustrated, freshmen coming in, you really want that college experience of being a freshman on campus. Seniors, you wanted that kind of full experience of being in an internship and in the classes with us, where we really start to dive into a lot of the complex issues that you deal with in social work. And we're not going to have that full experience. That doesn't mean this is not a really phenomenal learning experience for us all, and to really think about the human rights and social justice issues that are coming up on a day-to-day basis with COVID-19. And so what I would challenge you to do is to take this difficult process and to maybe recraft it, to think in terms of, how do I look at this through the lens of a social worker? And how do I view what's happening in my community, in communities in general, as a social worker? COVID has disproportionately impacted people who are historically vulnerable. So those who have compromised immune systems. One of my first jobs in social work was working at an AIDS service organization in the early 90s. And these are people who have compromised immune systems. So those people who are historically physically vulnerable have been disproportionately impacted by this. And individuals and communities of color, Black communities, Latino communities, Native, Indigenous communities have been highly impacted by this COVID-19. And this is based on historical, structural racism, sexism, a lot of the things that as social workers, that are those social injustices that we deal with. So I would challenge you as social work students to really think about the individuals that have been impacted disproportionately because of COVID-19, and what is our role and responsibility as social workers going in the community and helping to deal with the social injustices and how this has impacted people in the communities. You know, universities are really worried right now about student numbers, concerned about students not coming to college right now, how this is going to impact universities. Our numbers are growing. Our classes are over capacity right now. I think what's going to happen in the long run is a lot of young people who are coming up who are looking at careers, going to be thinking about social work, public health, nursing, those professions that have been on the front lines of working with COVID-19 and the communities that this has impacted. So even though you're not getting that full kind of college experience that you would like to have, as a social work student, these are unique times, and really kind of digging into our values, our ethics, who we are as social workers, and how we apply our values and ethics to the communities we work with, and looking at those social injustices that have really come up. We've seen that with the Black Lives Matter movement, especially through all of this. And so what is our responsibility in dealing with the social injustices? So it's not a full college experience, but it's a unique college experience. And as social workers, this is a really good time for us to reflect on who we are, where our values are, and what our social work values are. I would also encourage you to be patient with yourself and to be patient with others. That's something that I have to kind of remind myself. I will send out emails to you, and they may come across as being somewhat impatient or frustrated. And I just want to kind of let you know that that frustration that you may get from my email is not necessarily directed towards you. It's my frustration in that I can't work with you directly. And so, you know, be patient with us too. A lot of our faculty have families. I have an elderly mother who is one of the high risk population. I have a really close friend of mine who is also in a high risk population. And so there's a lot of stress and anxiety, worried about them and how they're doing, and what my responsibility is going to be if something happens to them over the next few months. And so be patient with yourself, be patient with each other, and also be patient with us. We're human too, so we may come across as curt sometimes, or impatient, or frustrated. And just understand it's nothing personal. It's just where we are at our particular time. And so we want to try to ensure that, we're not coming across as too frustrated and impatient with you, and that we are here and that we're all struggling through this together. I know this is not meeting with you directly like I would like to. I love working with students. I have a passion for undergraduate education. And so I'm hoping that, we can weather through this and things will get better down the road, and we'll be able to meet with each other as groups and one-on-one, and we can go back to a little bit of normalcy where we start having classes together. I love being in the classroom and working with students. But just know that we're here for you, and it may take a little bit longer for us to respond than we should, just because we're overwhelmed also. But if you need us, just kind of reach out to us, and just take care of yourself, be safe and be healthy, and take care. Thank you.